Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Grim and Guilty. What should have been a night of music and joy turned into the worst mass shootings in modern US history. From a hotel suite 32 floors above a country music festival, a lone gunman unleashed chaos, changing lives in minutes. Tonight, we revisit the horrors of October 1st, 2017. Route 91 Harvest Festival is an outdoor country music event that was held every year from 2014 to 2017 on the Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas Village, across from the Mandalay Bay and Luxor hotels, drawing over 22,000 fans. Performer Jason Aldean was ending the night with his set beginning at 9:40, unaware that within minutes bullets would rain down from above. Stephen Patlock, 64, was a retired accountant from Mesquite, Nevada. He had checked into the room 32-135 at the Mandalay Bay a few days before the shooting. At around 10:05, Stephen smashes his room windows with a hammer and opens fire into the crowd using modified rifles with bump stocks from his hotel room that lasts about 15 minutes. Bump stocks are devices that can be attached to a semi-automatic gun to fire bullets rapidly. A security guard named Jesus Campos went up to 32nd floor at the Mandalay Bay due to an open door alert. When he got there, the door that leads to the floor would not open. When he eventually got the door open, he found that an L-shaped bracket screw was screwed on the door and the door frame to prevent it from being opened. He reported it to his dispatch center and also heard a drilling sound coming from Stephen's suite and went to investigate. He was shot on his thigh when Stephen shot 35 shots through his door. At around 10:17, officers arrived at the hotel and were pointed to Stephen's suite. It wasn't until nearly an hour later that the officers entered his room using explosives. Stephen was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the mouth. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, a round was shot at a jet fuel tank that was across the street from the festival to possibly make them explode, but that's just speculation. In Stephen's room, 24 weapons and ammunition were found. Stephen took the lives of 58 innocent people and left over 500 wounded. This number includes families, children, grandparents, first responders, and festival staffs. Till this day, his motive remains unknown, which has fueled countless theories, from mental health illness to covert ties. But officially, none had been confirmed. The tragedy led to a surge of gun violence debate, city memorial efforts, and survivor-centered healing initiatives. The Route 91 Harvest Massacre forces us to confront how quickly joy can descend into horror and how fragile public gatherings can be. In under 15 minutes, lives were extinguished, futures ended, and a community changed forever. We may never fully understand the mind behind the massacre, but we owe it to the victims to remember. No longer just a date in history, but a testament to lives lost, survivors, and the wounds that remain. The Hollywood sign, one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. It stands for fame, fortune, and dreams made real. But not all dreams come true. This is a story of the Hollywood sign and the woman said to haunt it, Peg and Whistle. In the 1930s, Hollywood was the place for young actors and actresses, flooding Los Angeles, hoping for their big break. But behind the glamour was a brutal industry. Fame was fleeting and rejection constant. The original Hollywood sign, built in 1923, read Hollywoodland. Over the years, the sign took a much larger meaning, symbolizing the glamour and heartbreak of showbiz itself. Peg Entwistle was from Port Talbot, Wales. She moved to New York with her father, and in December 1922, her father passed, which led Peg and her brothers to move to Los Angeles with her aunt and uncle. She began her career in Broadway theater and was gaining recognition for her talent. She landed a role in the film 13 Women. Unfortunately, it received poor reviews, so her role was nearly completely cut and suddenly dropped from her studio contract. On September 16, 1932, in an emotional state, Peg left her uncle's home in Hollywood. She walked up Beechwood Canyon, climbed to the top of the H on the Hollywood sign, and jumped to her death. In September 18, 1932, a hiker found her shoes, purse, and a suicide note at the base of the sign. It read, "I am afraid. I am a coward. I'm sorry for everything. If I had done this long ago, it would have saved a lot of pain." Her body was later discovered in a ravine below. She was only 24. Days later, a letter arrived at her uncle's house offering her the lead role in a play about a woman who dies by suicide. A tragic twist of fate. The first paranormal stories began surfacing in the 1940s. Since then, hikers and locals have reported eerie encounters around the Hollywood sign, especially near the letter H. Common reports include a woman in 1930s style clothing walking aimlessly, only to vanish. The scent of gardenias, which was Peg's favorite perfume, lingering in the air. Dogs behaving strangely and refusing to go near the area. Sudden drops in temperature or overwhelming feelings of sadness near the sign. In one widely shared story, a couple hiking in the 1990s claimed that they saw a woman standing near the H. When they looked again, she was gone. They described her clothing and it matched Peg's era exactly. Park rangers have also noted multiple unexplained 911 calls from visitors claiming to have seen a woman jump, though no one is ever found.